Yeah.
And Senator Booton supported that gas tax. I was so disgusted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't in any way, shape, or form. The gas tax really hoodwinked and is hoodwinking people. When you go up and you talk to them about the gas tax, they will always say, well, our roads and bridges need it. And you know what? Our roads and bridges do need it, but they need it because for so many years, politicians and bureaucrats have taken the money out of that fund to use it for whatever pet project or need that they had in the general fund.
Right.
That's happened through both administrations.
Mm-hmm.
This is not really a political right or left
It's not a
thing.
partisan thing.
We
It's
try to
not.
fix it. The
We
Republicans.
did, absolutely, and did it like thoughtfully, amendment after amendment,
Right.
and fight after fight on the floor. And we did lobby our senators to try to be that firewall to say no to this tax, because ultimately, here's the bottom line. That was a dedicated fund. That's what the folks don't know. The first highway fund, when you could take 38 or 45 million out of it to do whatever you deem, whoever the powers are that deem we need it, take it away from the roads and bridges. Yeah, there is a need, but it was a dedicated fund. There was no integrity taking that money out. Well, now what do we have? We have another dedicated fund. It's dedicated, so it's really, this time, honest, it's really going to go. Well, that's insanity. That is the actual definition of insanity. When you continue to do things and you get the same reaction and it's a bad one, stop doing it.
You know something? Not only is it a dedicated fund, but maybe David Booton needs to get a copy of the New Hampshire Constitution and look in there and see that, per our Constitution, that the gas tax goes to the safety and the maintenance of the roads.
Right.
That's where it's supposed to be.
Right.
Not divvied up and go in other directions.
Right. And so to throw more money, to take more money out of the taxpayers' pockets, out of businesses' pockets, and to say that we need it for the roads, let's just plug the holes in the first one and we wouldn't have needed the second one, and we could have fixed the roads. Because the truth is, what this new tax is going to bring in was less than the $38 million that was taken out last session.
Oh, really? Okay.
Plug it up.
Right.
Use it for what you're supposed to. See, there's no integrity in that. That is not telling the voters and the taxpayer the truth.
Yeah. Well, that's typical though in government, right? I mean, these funds and whatever, nothing ever goes where it's supposed to.
Right. This one though is a 23% increase.
Yeah.
So
that's huge.
It is in the
Right.
in the big picture.
There was
it is.
no reason for that. Do you know all the red listed bridges that they're talking about? They put all these out there to everybody. These are because we're not complying with federal law.
Mm-hmm.
When federal changes their law, that means we have to put these Jersey barriers out, or we have to do certain things to our bridges,
Right.
or because we have small roads and they're not wide enough, they
Right.
don't comply with federal law. They're red listed.
Yes.
That's a bunch of BS. I
Right.
disagree there.
So it might not be as much of a safety issue as it
No,
is
it's
just big
not.
government, any government coming in again and telling you how you have
That's
to
right.
live.
If you read the study that was brought up to us, New Hampshire is one of the best states in the country for their roads.
Really?
Isn't
Yes.
that interesting? Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
So, I
That's
disagree with a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. The federal government probably in states' issues, problems, and challenges that we face, I wonder how many of them would dissipate if the federal government.
Did Senator Booton co-sponsor that bill? I thought he did.
Yes, yes, it was
The
a gas tax.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
co-sponsored that. That's right.
Right.
That's
he
a
did.
shame. With a Democrat and a Republican that
And a
sponsored
couple
also.
of others, I think, were on
Right.
there too. It was a team deal.
Oh, that's a shame. How
Were,
about-
were there a number of Republicans that voted
Yes.
for the
there
gas
was
tax?
about 3 or
earlier?
4.
Yeah,
that
okay.
went with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know my senator stood her ground, Senator
Good.
Sharon Carson.
Good for
I
her.
was proud of her. She didn't vote for it.
Yeah.
If you vote for a gas tax and you have on your literature, your campaign literature, that you don't support taxes and fees, are you lying? Is that a lie?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe if he put in parentheses, starting now.
Yeah,
Well-
maybe that might be what he.
I think what semantics aside, he's trying, I think, to say that it wasn't a broad-based tax. But I don't know if there's a tax that the consumer or the citizen is going to feel quite like the gas tax. And you can't add it all up because you're putting it in your tank. But don't forget, anything that you have delivered that has a transportation
Good point.
is getting it. Anything that you buy at the supermarket is going to have it because that food doesn't mysteriously appear. It's driven.
Right.
So everything keeps paying for that. You have no idea how many cha-chings it is. But for the folks that are seeing, and let's face it, we all know, depending on the state, $3,000 to $5,000 less per household right now in personal wealth, personal income.
Yeah.
3,000 to 5,000. When that pool shrinks, and you don't have an economic alternative to get a way to make it up, jobs being what they are in New Hampshire and everywhere else, right? 23% on a gas tax is a lot to a family.
Right. Not only the
lot.
gas tax, let's talk about the oil cleanup fund.
Yeah.
It used to be 1 cent.
Yeah.
There's plenty of money. There's a couple $1 million in that fund.
Yeah.
They raised it to 1.25. Okay, now if you have like a tank of 275 gallons, you're talking that's an extra $68.75 that you have to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, for
Yeah.
taxes on that oil.
Isn't that something?
It's a shame.
Yeah.
And then I had Representative, what's his name, Tim Horrigan. It's only 25-cent
always say
raise.
that. Oh, no.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Pennies, nickels, and dimes add up to dollars.